Hello everyone, this is Nimish and today we're going to react to the trailer of Baahubali 2, The Conclusion. This is a much awaited movie ever since part 1 released 2 years back, and ever since then this has been one of the biggest hits, the humongous success of Indian cinema all over the world, and it's made a complete kind of brand of itself and a complete fan following for itself, and it's really crazy. Now, the things that I'm looking forward to in Bahubali 2 is a development of Anushka Shetty's character, which basically had no role in part 1. We were just known that she's kind of imprisoned and she has something to do with the past. Wondering, very curious about the original Bahubali Prabhas, his story, his tale, kind of seeing more about him and his kind of relationship with Rana Daggubati and how that goes and what exactly happens. And also, of course, as to all the kind of, all the plotting and planning that must have happened for Katappa to kill Bahubali, and then why that happened exactly is something that we are all looking forward to and watching. As Rajamouli sir said in his most recent interview at the launch of Bahubali 2 trailer, that the first part was just a build up and the second part basically has the heart of the story. The first part was a build up of the world of Bahubali, the kind of introduction of characters and all of that, and the second part is basically what will tell you the whole kind of story of Bahubali, the main story of Bahubali, and that's why it's so interesting. The two most common things that happened or that are spoken about after Bahubali was, one, the ending. Why did it end there? What exactly happens? Why did Katappa kill Bahubali and stuff like that? Whereas most people felt that the movie ended at a point where you're like, oh shit, why did it end? I want to watch more, I want to watch more. So it ended at a very high point. So the graph of the first movie was like this. It was starting out slow with all the locations and the Tamanna story, the second Prabha story, all of that, and then it started getting very interesting in the second half, and then it just ended right there, and everyone was waiting and wondering what happens next. So, and the second most common thing about Bahubali 1, which is actually interesting and more related to trade, is that many people felt it was overhyped. After watching the movie, I know that many people who I know felt that it's way too overhyped. It's not that great as they seem, and it's a lot like a lot of the English war movies that we've seen, and there's nothing special about it. And that's also a good viewpoint. That's correct, because it is one of the most hyped movies ever. But what remains to be seen, and what I feel, is that we can't judge it based on an incomplete film. The second part completes the film. This is one film in two parts, so you can't just, neither does the success of Bahubali 1 nor the failure, if it had a failure, would have really made any sense, because the movie is incomplete. It's like you just watch it till the interval and you decide what happens, whether it's good or bad. That's not possible. So you have to watch part 2. You have to watch the whole movie to understand what exactly you feel about this movie. So these are the things I'm looking forward to in part 2. And so let's go and check out the trailer of Bahubali 2. Here we go. This is the Telugu trailer, by the way, because I watched Bahubali 1 in Hindi, and I think that's why me and most of the people I know didn't enjoy it as much, because it just felt like a Hindi dubbed movie. That natural kind of instinct didn't come out, the natural dialogue delivery didn't come out, and it was made to be a Telugu film. And so it should be watched. I think every movie should be watched in its own language, probably with subtitles or something, because Hindi dubbing, unless you're really doing it well, it always comes across as funny and inappropriate, really overly dramatic, like a TV serial, and so it just doesn't help in any way. It makes the movie less effective and less serious. It makes it more funny. So this is the Telugu trailer, and that's what I'm going to watch today. So here we go with the trailer of Bahubali 2.
అమరేంద్ర బాహుబలియను నేను అశేషమైన మాహిష్మతి ప్రజల ధన మాన ప్రాణ సంరక్షకుడిగా ప్రాణ త్యాగానికైనా వెనుకాడబోనని రాజమాత శివగామీదేవి సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
So then we have Anushka and her whole story and her whole track, which was not there in part one. Oh wow, that's a nice visual of the elephant.
అంతర్యుద్ధం
నువ్వు నా పక్కనున్నంత వరకు నన్ను చంపే మగాడింకా పుట్టలేదు మామా.
Oh, biceps. April is my birthday month, by the way. Okay, so the first thing I want to say in this trailer is that Prabhas holds it together. This movie, he's kind of extremely effective in his performance. You know, he's the only one in this movie who I feel is not going overly dramatic, neither is he going below what is required. He's doing it absolutely perfectly. You know, he's very composed in his performance, his delivery of emotions, and I really thoroughly enjoying his performance in the part 2 as compared to the part 1, because I think here the whole emotions come into play, the basic crux of the story comes into play. So I really enjoyed that. I'm also looking forward to what Rana Daggubati has to do in this movie, because there's kind of that last scene where they kind of come together. It seems like they know they hate each other by then, so it's you know, that kind of build up will be nice. There's also a hint of the emotion behind his relationship with Satyaraj, who is Kadappa, and it just kind of probably builds up from there as to how that emotion is and how he got betrayed and why that happened, which is what everyone is excited about. And as I said, I would love to know what Anushka Shetty's role is, which is also covered in this movie. Now, about the VFX, there are some scenes which are kind of not looking realistic and looking a little fake in terms of whatever's going on there. But I think that in the final movie, in the theater, in the way that it is, we'll enjoy it much more than just on a computer screen. Because, you know, no movie is actually meant to be watched on a computer screen. It's always meant to be watched on the big screen. And so some movies might not come across perfectly, especially the VFX on the computer screen. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, to watching those and talking about the VFX after I watched the movie. But over here, definitely it seemed like there was some great VFX, some not so good VFX involved. And also, I think that this, since she comes and says Mahindra Baahubali, I don't know why she's screaming though. She's screaming like she's angry, the mother holding him up. But nevertheless, it seems like it goes from his birth to whatever other things happen as he grows, and everything, basically everything is covered in this movie, and so it looks really, really good. And the one thing that I personally don't like is songs. I mean, it just makes me so bored in a movie, you know. It's just, I can see that there are a couple of songs with Anushka, but yeah, I hope that there's just one song or something, because that just takes away the whole charm of watching a very interesting movie, and especially part 2 of a movie, because I don't want to get into the gear of again sitting back and enjoying a kind of love story for some time and then getting back to the zone of the kind of emotions, drama, relations, and all of that, just like part 1. I think that we did cover quite some ground on that area of light-hearted entertainment with Tamanna and all of that in the first part. So I hope that that part is very short in this one. I just hope. That's my personal perspective and opinion, but nevertheless, I'm looking forward to this movie. It is coming in April. I hope you like this review and reaction to Baahubali 2's Telugu trailer. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and take care.